Have you ever noticed how some people look steady and composed, while others are always scrambling just to keep up? It isn't luck, it isn't talent, it isn't even about having more chances than you. It comes down to one thing: control. Control over what you say, control over what you think, control over how you feel, control over how you handle what you have. And let me tell you this: if you can master your mouth, your mind, your mood, and your money, you can master your life. Most people don't understand that the power to shift everything is already inside them, waiting to be activated. But if you don't take charge of these areas, they will take charge of you. They shape your world. They influence every decision you make, every relationship you build, and every opportunity you either step into or walk past. Control them, and you control your direction. Let them run loose, and you'll wake up in a place you never planned to end up. So today we're going to go into this. We're going to unpack it piece by piece. And when I'm finished, you're going to walk away with a sharper focus and a deeper sense of responsibility for your own life. Let's start with your mouth. When I say control your mouth, I'm not only talking about biting your tongue when you're angry, although that matters. I'm talking about recognizing the weight behind every word you release. Your words are like arrows. Once they leave you, you cannot pull them back. And too many people don't realize that. They talk without thinking. They leak negativity. They spread gossip. They vent carelessly without considering the impact. But here's the truth. The words that come out of your mouth have the power to shape your life, your relationships, and your future. When you speak, you're not merely describing the world. You're participating in creating it. The language you use becomes the framework of your reality. If you keep talking about how hard life is, how unfair people are, how impossible your goals seem, you are building an environment that matches those words. You're sending that energy outward, and life answers back. But if you speak with faith, if you declare possibility, if you encourage instead of complain, you help create an atmosphere where progress and positivity can grow. Think about the people who inspire you. Do they speak doubt everywhere they go? Do they tear others down? Or do they use their words to lift, to push forward, and to open doors for themselves and for others? That's the kind of power you're holding right now. The ability to speak life into any situation. But understand this: the same power can cause damage if you handle it carelessly. You have to be intentional with your words. So the next time you're about to speak, pause for a moment. Ask yourself, will this help or will it harm? Is what I'm about to say rooted in truth, or is it just emotional heat? Too often, people let emotions hijack their mouth. They say things they later regret. And once it's spoken, it's spoken. You can apologize, you can try to repair it, but the impact has already landed. That's why you must choose your words on purpose. And listen, this isn't only about how you speak to other people. It's also about how you speak to yourself. Self-talk is real. The way you address yourself, your thoughts, your ability, your future. Those words are shaping your reality every day. If you constantly tell yourself, I can't, I'm not enough, this is too hard, you'll start believing it. You'll put limits on yourself because you're feeding your mind a message of defeat. Then you begin acting like those limits are facts, when in reality they're just echoes of the negativity you've been repeating. But when you flip it, when you change the script and begin speaking strong, affirming words to yourself, everything shifts. When you wake up and tell yourself, I can handle today, I'm capable, I'm built for this, I deserve to grow and succeed, you start forming the confidence and mindset you need to move forward. You speak yourself into strength. You speak yourself into courage. And soon enough, those words become actions. Those actions become habits. And those habits shape your future. So controlling your mouth isn't about being quiet. It's about being deliberate. It's about understanding that every word leaving your lips is either moving you forward or pulling you backward. It's about recognizing that your words affect your relationships, your opportunities, and even the way you see yourself. Life will bring challenges, that's guaranteed. But when you choose your words wisely, you can walk through those challenges with direction and purpose. When you speak wisdom, positivity, and truth, you begin attracting more of those things into your life. People start responding to you differently. They respect you more. They come to you for insight because they sense you speak with intention. They see that you use words as tools to build, not weapons to destroy. Think of your words like seeds. If you plant seeds of doubt, fear, and negativity, that's what you're going to harvest. But if you plant seeds of faith, discipline, and hope, that's what will grow in your life. So be careful what you're planting, because you will live inside the garden you create. Too many people spend their days talking about what's wrong, what's missing, and what they don't have. They complain about their circumstances, their jobs, their relationships, and then they wonder why nothing changes. But they're not using the power they already possess. They're not speaking life into their situation. They're not taking control of the one thing they can control, their words. If you want your life to change, it starts with what you say. Let me make it simple. Think about someone who constantly says, life is hard. Every time you meet them, they're complaining about something. What kind of energy are they releasing? What kind of opportunities are they pulling toward themselves? Not the kind they want. Now think about someone who speaks with hope. Someone who talks about solutions, not just problems. You can feel the difference, right? That's the power of words. That's the power of controlling your mouth. If you want to be successful, if you want to lead, if you want to make real impact, you have to discipline your speech. Stop speaking defeat into your life. Stop saying, I can't, and start saying, I will. Stop obsessing over what's going wrong and start declaring what's possible. And don't do this only for you. Do it for the people around you. When you control your mouth, you become strength for others. Your words can lift someone when they're low. Your voice can spark courage in someone who's ready to quit. But if you're careless, if you're always criticizing, complaining, or speaking in anger, you will push people away. You will create a space where negativity grows. And that's not the legacy you want to leave behind. So let's bring it back to the main point, control. You can't control everything. You can't control other people's choices. You can't control where you started in life. You can't always control the challenges that hit your path. But you can control your mouth. You can control what you say. You can choose words that empower, uplift, and inspire. You can speak with intention, knowing exactly how much power your words carry. This isn't just about success. This is about purpose. This is about realizing you have the ability to shape your reality, influence your environment, and leave a positive mark on the people you meet. Words are a tool. Use them wisely, and they'll build a life that reflects your true potential. Use them recklessly, and they'll destroy opportunities before they ever have a chance to bloom. So the next time you open your mouth, remember this. Your words carry power. Control them. Speak with intention. Speak life into your future, into your relationships, and into your self-worth. And watch your world start changing around you. Now let's talk about your mind. Your mind is the most powerful instrument you own. It's the starting point of everything. Every action, every choice, every habit, every pattern you repeat. Long before your life shows the results on the outside, the real battle is happening on the inside. That's why you have to understand this. If you don't control your mind will control you. And when that happens, you don't live with intention. You live on reaction. You move based on fear and doubt instead of purpose and direction. Think about it. Everything you've ever done, good or bad, began as a thought. Going after a dream started as a thought. Deciding to improve yourself started as a thought. Even the mistakes you regret started as a thought. That's why the old idea, as a man thinks, so he becomes, carries so much truth. Your life takes the shape of the thoughts you allow to settle in your mind and grow roots. Whatever you focus on expands. So if your mind is constantly filled with fear, negativity, and doubt, that's the direction your life will drift. But if you deliberately fill it with growth, possibility, and determination, you start moving toward those things instead. And here's what too many people do. They let their mind run wild. They give fear the microphone. They let doubt sit in the driver's seat. They worry about what might go wrong, what people might think, whether they're good enough. And once those thoughts begin, they start multiplying. One negative thought becomes two, two becomes 10. Soon enough, they're stuck in a loop of anxiety and self-doubt, frozen not because life is impossible, but because the mind has been left unmanaged. But listen carefully. You don't have to live like that. You can rewrite the story playing in your head. You can decide what thoughts are allowed to stay and what thoughts must leave. And when you start controlling your thoughts, you start controlling your life. Let me break it down clearly. Controlling your mind doesn't mean pretending life is easy. It doesn't mean acting like fear doesn't exist. Fear is real. Doubt is real. Pressure is real. The difference is what you do when those feelings show up. Are you going to let fear stop you, or are you going to acknowledge it and keep moving anyway? That choice is available to you every single day. When you control your mind, you don't eliminate fear. You rise above it. You learn how to manage it, how to move through it, and how to keep going even when it feels like the odds are stacked against you. This is where discipline comes in. Your mind has to be trained the same way an athlete trains the body. Mental strength is not something you wake up with one morning. It is built day by day through repetition, effort, and intention. That means you must be deliberate about what you allow into your mind. Some people feed their minds with garbage, negative news all day, toxic social media, drama, constant comparison, and then they wonder why they feel overwhelmed and heavy. But what you consume mentally matters just as much as what you consume physically. If you keep feeding your mind negativity, don't be surprised when your mind produces negativity. So what do? You guard your mind like it's the most valuable thing you possess. Because it is. You become selective. If something doesn't strengthen your spirit, if it doesn't align with your goals, if it doesn't match your values, you let it go. Then you replace it with what builds you. Fill your mind with things that challenge you, things that stretch you, things that inspire you. Read books that sharpen your thinking and open new doors of possibility. Listen to people who've walked the path you want to walk, people who've faced obstacles and still made it through. When you consistently expose yourself to wisdom, your mind starts producing better outcomes. And here's another truth. Your environment shapes your mindset. The company you keep has enormous influence. If you stay around people who complain constantly, doubt constantly, and live with negativity as a lifestyle, that energy will rub off on you. But if you surround yourself with people who are driven, focused, disciplined, and hopeful, that energy is contagious too. You become what you're around. You start seeing opportunities where others see obstacles. You start pushing through challenges with confidence instead of collapsing under fear. Controlling your mind also means becoming intentional with your thoughts the moment they show up. Because negative thoughts will come, that's life. But you cannot let them settle and build a home in your head. When a negative thought appears, you catch it, you challenge it, you replace it. When you hear yourself thinking, "I can't do this," pause and ask, "Is that true? What proof do I have that I can't?" Most of the time you'll realize that thought isn't based on reality, it's based on fear. So you flip it, you replace it with something that serves you. You tell yourself the truth. This is hard, but I can learn. This is heavy, but I'm not helpless. This is uncomfortable, but I'm capable. Another powerful tool for controlling your mind is visualization. When you picture your goals clearly, when you see the outcome in your mind, you train your brain to focus on what you want, not what you fear. If you can see it internally, you start believing it's possible. And when you believe it's possible, you start taking the actions needed to make it real. Visualization isn't just imagination, it's programming. It's building a mental blueprint of where you're headed, then using that blueprint to guide your decisions. Every morning when you wake up, you have a choice. Will you let the world decide what you think today, or will you take control of your mind? It's easy to get pulled into chaos. It's easy to let stress, fear, and negativity take over. But you have power. You can choose another path. You can focus on what you can control. You can approach situations with a mindset that says, I can handle this. I'm built for this. I'm not quitting. And when you begin your day with that kind of intention, everything else becomes easier to manage. Meditation and prayer can also be powerful here. When you take time to quiet your thoughts, to center yourself, and to connect with something greater than you, you give your mind room to breathe. Meditation helps you become aware of your thoughts so you can intercept negativity before it grows into a storm. Prayer reminds you that you're not alone, that you're supported, and that you have strength beyond what you feel in the moment. Here's the bottom line. Controlling your mind is daily work. It's not something you do once and never revisit. It's a commitment to your future. It's taking responsibility for what you think, because your thoughts shape what you become. When you control your mind, you take back the steering wheel of your destiny. You stop living at the mercy of fear, doubt, and negativity. You become the driver, moving your life in the direction you choose. So start today. Start paying attention to your thoughts. Start feeding your mind with information, people, and experiences that push you toward progress. Challenge negative thinking when it shows up, and replace it with thoughts that serve your future. Visualize your goals. Meditate, pray, train your mind. Because when you take control of your mind, you take control of your life. And once your mind is disciplined, there is nothing you can't build. Now let's move into something people often overlook, but it has a huge impact on how your life unfolds. Your mood. Your mood is like a lens. It determines how you see everything around you. And if you don't learn how to manage it, that lens can distort reality. You've seen it before. Someone wakes up on the wrong side of the bed, and that negative energy follows them all day. Every conversation feels tense. Every inconvenience feels like an attack. Every small problem feels massive. They move through the day acting as if the world is against them, when in truth, it's their mood that's controlling the experience. Here's what you need to understand. Your mood doesn't just happen to you. You have far more influence over it than you think. Your mood is not an external force you're powerless against. It's not something you're required to surrender to. Your mood is something you can regulate, something you can manage. And when you truly grasp that, when you realize you can take control of your emotional state, everything starts to shift. Now let's be clear. Emotions are real. If you're angry, that anger is real. If you're sad, that sadness is real. Those feelings matter, and they deserve to be acknowledged. But here's the difference. Just because you feel something doesn't mean it gets to run your life. Feelings are like waves. They rise, they fall, they come and go. You don't have to drown in them. You can learn how to ride them. One of the biggest mistakes people make is treating feelings like facts. They wake up feeling anxious and assume the whole day is ruined. They feel stressed and decide everything is falling apart. But feelings are not facts. A bad emotion in the moment does not mean your life is off track. It doesn't mean your future is doomed. It's simply a temporary state. And the moment you recognize that, the moment you understand your mood is fluid and changeable, you take back control. This is where awareness begins. Most people move through their day on autopilot. They don't stop to notice how their mood is influencing their reactions. They let emotions dictate behavior without realizing it. They react instead of responding. But when you pause and check in with yourself, when you ask, how am I actually feeling right now? You gain power. Awareness creates space. And in that space, you get to choose. Think about how often something small sets the tone for your entire day. Maybe traffic was bad. Maybe someone spoke to you the wrong way. Maybe something didn't go as planned. Before you know it, that frustration follows you everywhere. You snap at people. You feel irritated over things that normally wouldn't matter. One small moment snowballs into a full day of negativity. But when you learn to control your mood, you stop the snowball before it gains momentum. You pause. You breathe. You decide how you want to respond. You choose not to let one moment define your entire day. And that's the key. You always have a choice when it comes to your mood. You may not be able to control what happens to you, but you can always control how you respond. You can choose whether to dwell on the negative or shift your focus. You can choose whether a bad moment ruins your day or becomes just a passing inconvenience. When you start seeing your mood as something you can manage, you stop living like a victim of circumstances. You become empowered. Now, controlling your mood doesn't mean pretending everything is fine when it's not. It's not about fake smiles or emotional suppression. It's about managing your emotions in a way that works for you instead of against you. It's about finding healthy ways to process what you feel without letting those feelings sabotage your actions. Let's talk about gratitude for a moment. Gratitude is one of the most powerful tools you have for shifting your mood. When you intentionally focus on what you're thankful for, it becomes difficult to stay stuck in negativity. Gratitude forces your attention away from what's missing and toward what's present. It changes your perspective. It reminds you that even when things aren't perfect, there is still good in your life. So when you notice your mood slipping, pause and ask yourself what you're grateful for. It doesn't have to be something big. It could be as simple as waking up today, having shelter, or knowing there's someone who cares about you. Let that awareness ground you. Let it reset your emotional state. Gratitude doesn't deny problems. It gives you strength to face them. Another key factor in controlling your mood is your mindset. Your mood follows your thoughts. If your thinking is consistently negative, your emotional state will reflect that. But when you train your mind to see challenges as opportunities and setbacks as lessons, your mood starts to follow a healthier path. That's why meditation and mindfulness matter. When you take time to slow down, to center yourself, and to observe your thoughts without reacting to them, you gain emotional control. You stop responding impulsively. You start choosing how you feel. Instead of letting emotions decide for you, you decide for yourself. And don't forget this, your energy spreads. Your mood is contagious. The energy you carry into the world comes back to you. If you're constantly negative, complaining, criticizing, focusing on what's wrong, you attract more of the same. But when you're positive, grateful, and optimistic, people are drawn to you. Opportunities start opening. Progress begins to follow. So take responsibility for your mood. Don't let a bad morning turn into a bad day. Don't let a bad day turn into a bad week. Recognize that you can shift your energy at any moment. You can choose gratitude. You can choose perspective. You can choose positivity, even in the middle of difficulty. Your mood affects everything: your relationships, your work, your health, your overall sense of peace. So pay attention to it. Check in with yourself often. And when you notice your mood drifting off course, take action. Breathe, reflect, reset. Choose to control your mood, because when you do, you take control of your life. And now let's talk about the final pillar, your money. Part 4, Money Final Integration. Reworded, same strategy, fully punctuated. Now let's talk about money, and not just numbers or currency, but the mindset you carry about it. Money can be a tool that creates freedom, or it can become a chain that weighs you down and keeps you awake at night. For many people, money controls their decisions, their stress levels, and their sense of security. They live paycheck to paycheck, constantly worried about how they'll make it through the month. They feel trapped, not because they lack ability, but because they lack control. But here's the truth. Money, like everything else in your life, is something you can learn to manage intentionally. You just have to decide that you're going to control it, rather than letting it control you. First, let's clear up a misunderstanding. Money itself is not evil. You've heard that phrase before, but it's often misused. Money is neutral. It's a tool. The issue isn't money, it's obsession. When money becomes the sole focus, when people chase it at any cost, when they sacrifice values and peace for it, that's when problems begin. Used wisely, money can build something meaningful. Used carelessly, it can deepen stress and regret. The choice is always yours. So how do you take control of your money? It starts with a plan. You need to know where your money is going before it leaves your hands. Too many people spend without thinking. They react to sales, impulses, and emotions. But control requires intention. It requires budgeting, saving, and investing with purpose. And no, budgeting isn't restrictive. Budgeting is freedom. When you have a budget, you know exactly where your money is going. You're not guessing. You're not stressed. You're directing your money instead of wondering where it disappeared. Control removes anxiety. Another trap you have to watch out for is emotional spending. Emotions and money don't mix well. A bad day turns into an unnecessary purchase. Stress becomes justification. I deserve this becomes an excuse. We've all been there, but feeling deserving doesn't mean spending is wise. Emotional spending keeps people stuck in cycles of debt and pressure. If you want control, you have to think long-term. Don't just think about today. Think about where you want to be 5 years from now, 10 years from now. Think about the life you want to build and the security you want for your family. Then start making decisions that align with that future. That means saving. That means investing. That means living below your means, even when everyone else is trying to look impressive. Saving matters. Many people save nothing, assuming tomorrow will work itself out. But tomorrow always comes. Emergencies happen, cars break down, bills appear. And without preparation, small problems become major setbacks. An emergency fund creates stability. It gives you breathing room. Once you've built that foundation, start thinking beyond survival. Think about growth. Think about building wealth that lasts. Real wealth isn't about how much you make. It's about how much you keep and how well you manage it. There are people earning high incomes who are still broke because everything they make disappears. That isn't wealth. Wealth is sustainability. Wealth is legacy. Wealth is freedom. And financial freedom doesn't mean millions in the bank. It means control. It means having options. It means your money works for you instead of against you. It means your choices align with your values, not your stress. When you control your money, you gain flexibility. You gain peace. You gain the ability to pursue what matters most and give where it counts. But none of this happens by accident. You have to track your spending. You have to create a plan that reflects your priorities. You have to save, invest, and think long-term. And remember, it's never too late to start. Whether you're at the beginning of your career or approaching retirement, control is still possible. It may take discipline, it may require sacrifice, but it's worth it. Because when you control your money, you're not just building wealth, you're building freedom. Now let's bring everything together. Control your mouth, control your mind, control your mood, control your money. These 4 pillars determine the quality of your life. You can't control everything that happens to you, but you can control how you respond. And that's where your true power lives. You're not a victim of circumstance. You're not powerless against life's ups and downs. You have the ability to shape your future, to create meaning, and to live with purpose. None of this happens overnight. Growth takes time. Discipline takes effort. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to start. Start with one thing. Maybe it's your words. Maybe it's your thoughts. Maybe it's choosing gratitude on a hard day. Maybe it's creating a financial plan and sticking to it. Take one step, then take another. And as you do, you'll notice a shift. You'll stop reacting to life and start directing it. You'll realize you're no longer just existing. You're creating. You're in the driver's seat. And when you take control of your life, something else happens. You inspire others. You create momentum. You become an example of what's possible. You become a leader. You become a light. So don't wait. Don't sit back and let life decide for you. Take control of your mouth, your mind, your mood, and your money. It won't be easy. It won't be instant, but it will be worth it. One day you'll look back and realize you didn't just live your life. You built it. You shaped it. You owned it. And in doing so, you created something no one can take away from you. A life of purpose, meaning, and success. The power is already in your hands. What are you going to do with it?